What you're about to watch is part of an online training that I do twice a month inside my Movement Makers program, where I coach entrepreneurs like you how to build an online movement, how to make money from it, and use it to make a huge impact on the world. Enjoy.
This is Mr. Extraordinaire. Mark Drager. That's a surprise, guys. It's a pleasant surprise.
Good morning to you, no matter where you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Drager. I've been friends with Evan Carmichael since 2007. And so we've been part of the same mastermind group. We've been very, very close friends. I have helped him launch Movement Makers. I'm in Your One Word. I'm in the book. I'm in Built to Serve. I've helped him behind the scenes with Brandlytics and a whole bunch of other things. Now, does everybody know what's going on today and why I'm here?
Well, I think you're here because you're going to take us to the next level and introduce Clubhouse to us and all the benefits of it, and why all of us should be on Clubhouse. And it's going to help promote our brand and help move our movement.
There you go. Okay, perfect. So let's get into this. What I've learned in the first 60 days of hosting rooms on Clubhouse. So I heard about Clubhouse originally in August, and I reached out to Evan and I said, "Hey, this Clubhouse thing, is this gonna be something? Is this going to be anything?" And he's like, "I don't think so, Mark. I don't think Clubhouse is going to come and go. It's just another platform." I'm like, "Okay." And then in September, I was thinking, I don't really want to get on this thing, but I didn't have an invite. And then in December, it started to really blow up. And in January, Evan's like, "Mark, you got to think of this Clubhouse thing. This could be perfect for you." And then in February, I finally got on the platform. So I got on the platform February 8th. So in 2 days, it'll be 4 months I've been on the platform. And when I got on there, originally I was thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea how this works. It is very overwhelming. What are my goals? I don't know. How do I get there? I have no idea. And so in that time, really for the first month, it was exploratory. The second month, it was strategy. And in the last month, I've gotten very serious. And let me tell you, in the last week, I've gotten even more serious about it. And so I'm going to walk through the different roles that people play and why you may want to bring that into your movement as you grow as a thought leader. So first of all, let's dig into this. First question for you. What is Clubhouse? Well, it sounds like most of you are on the platform, so you've been able to explore it. But for those of you who are new to it, it's an audio social app. And here's the thing. It's not talk radio, but it's kind of talk radio. It's not YouTube, but it's kind of YouTube. It's not really a social app like Instagram where you can take fancy photos and have, algorithms just do stuff, because it's all live. And so it's this really weird place where everyone is swimming around trying to figure out what it is and how it works for your movement and how it works for you as a thought leader. Of course, right now we are in a very early stage. If you think about how things grow, you've heard of early adopters maybe, or late adopters. We are so early that the only people who are on it right now are early adopters. And so if your movement, like mine, right, the movement that I want to build, I want to be able to help people who allow fear and doubt to slow them down. I want them to break through that. I want them to go from living a small life to taking steps to be able to live the biggest life that they can imagine. Those people, frankly, aren't on Clubhouse yet, because we have early adopters on Clubhouse. So they're people like you. They're people like me. They're people who want to make a name for themselves. And so what we find right now in this moment of time that we're in is you go there and you're just surrounded by other people who may say things similar to what you're saying, who want to help people similar to what you want to help. And it feels like you're just knocking elbows and trying to make a name for yourself. That can be discouraging. That can make you feel like you're one of many. But the truth is, if you go in on it now, this platform will grow. Others are trying to take its market share, but it will grow. The skills you will develop in terms of speaking, in terms of interacting, taking questions on the fly, driving a lot of value, those are skills you can take anywhere. Over these last 60 days, I mean, even right now, the presentation that I'm giving you and the way that I'm speaking, with these pauses and then speaking this way and listing things out. Like literally, I've developed it from being on Clubhouse every single day, speaking every single day. And so if you want to speak from the stage, if you want to speak from YouTube, if you want to build a movement, getting into rooms and speaking every single day is that repetition that you need to hone your craft and develop your skill set. And so Clubhouse is early adopters right now. It's going to feel like everybody's talking and no one is listening, but that's okay because you're developing your skill set, you're making connections with others, and you are super early. So when other people do come on board, imagine what Facebook was like in 2008. Imagine what Twitter was like in 2010 or Instagram in 2013 or 14, like early days. That's what we're facing with Clubhouse. So if you have a big vision, if you have a long plan, Clubhouse might be the place for you. So as I mentioned, it is a social media app. So it ties together the passive listening experience of a podcast. So think about why people love podcasting. Throw on some headphones, it's passive. You go out and you do your workout. You're doing the dishes, you're grocery shopping, you're vacuuming, the living room, whatever it is. So it gives some people the passive listening experience of a podcast, but it ties in the FOMO, the fear of missing out feeling that comes from a live event. Think about the last concert you were at, right? The last event you were at. A lot of people are getting together and there's something happening that will only happen once in that room, in that time, right? Mark Zuckerberg came onto Clubhouse to talk about Facebook. The app blew up. If you were one of the 8,000 people who could be in that room, that felt like a special moment. And if you were not able to get in that room, you felt like you were missing out. And so it has also this feeling of a live event that you want to be a part of. And then it has the interactive aspect of a networking event. Think about when you're going to these events and you're meeting new people, or you're having business meetings. And so it ties that into it. And then lastly, it has all of the vanity metrics that come from Instagram or other things. So we are giving people the listening experience of a podcast to make them feel good. We are tying in the addictive emotional element of attending live events and being a part of something live. And we're making it interactive. And then not on top of that, we're making everyone feel super, super significant because you're gaining followers and you're gaining people, and it just makes you feel amazing. You get your time in the spotlight. You get your time to speak. People are listening to you. And this combination, I think, is very addictive. And so we need to just be aware of what the platform is and what we can do to be able to play into it to your business goals as you grow your movement. Okay. So why would any of us want to spend and commit quite a bit of time there? And when Evan came to me and said, Mark, you really should go in on Clubhouse. I was like, you know what? I should go in on Clubhouse. So I'm thinking like, maybe 2-3 hours a week? You think 2-3 hours a week are good? And Evan's like, what, Mark, what are you talking about? The people who are going all in on Clubhouse are spending 70 or 80 hours a week there. 2 to 3 hours a week is not very much. So I was like, maybe 8 hours a week? Up. So why would you want to commit time there when you are so busy with everything else you have to do? Especially when there's the overwhelm of all the different platforms, right? We have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have so many platforms. Well, truthfully, there's 3 really great reasons. Now, I created this presentation for a B2B sense. So we're going to tweak a little bit of this because you guys are all thought leaders, not necessarily people looking for sales. But the truth is community. You can be a part of something. People are there because they want to be a part of something when they feel isolated. Right? During this lockdown, during COVID, during restrictions, during a time where people are losing their jobs, during a time where people can't connect to their loved ones, they want to feel connected. And you want to build a movement of people who feel connected to your movement. So this is a really great thing to be able to tap into. Second, people want to be heard. So for those who do not have a platform, you are all building platforms, but think about everyone else who doesn't have a platform, who wants to feel significant. They can come up on stage. You can invite them into your rooms and you can invite them into your conversations and they can feel heard. Number 3, network. As I mentioned earlier, you can connect with other next level people. Last year, a little over a year ago now, I joined EO. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with EO or not, but it's the entrepreneur organization. It attempts to try to connect entrepreneurs of certain levels together for networking and support and peer mentorship. I paid a lot of money to join. I paid a lot of money to join in January, and I bailed by June. I just walked away from my membership, walked away from the payments, because I didn't find that I was connecting with the next level people I wanted to connect with. I was in my chapter, in my group, and there's nothing wrong with EO, but in my chapter, in my group, I was forced to be with those people. Clubhouse allows you to set out to find the network that you want. And so I'm learning all the most amazing things from people who have done some really serious things, like global, like, so if you want to be the best in your city, that's not enough. If you want to be the best in your vertical or your industry, that's not enough. You're building a movement. And that means that you can get inspired and connect with people who are doing remarkable things around the world. And so you can level up your network of people very, very quickly. Of course, we want to build profile. So we want people to follow us. We want people to listen to us. We want people to like us. That's part of, frankly, what building a movement's about. And then if monetization is important to you, and honestly, of course, everyone wants to know, how can we monetize our followings? You have to build a following before you can monetize it. But how do we monetize it? There are ways to be able to draw people into funnels or selling sequences through automation. So there are some hacks and tips. If you're running a room, you can say, hey, if you want notes from this conversation, go ahead over to IG, DM me the word notes, and we'll send you the notes. Well, when you DM the word notes, it goes into Mobile Monkey, which is an IG automation platform, which automatically captures the contact. You have a virtual assistant taking notes in real time. You pay them a very small amount. The virtual assistant then forwards the notes to each person. You have now captured their contact details. You can then now remarket to them, retarget to them, email them. You can start to build your list. So there are a lot of list building opportunities if you're able to have loss leaders or drive enough value.
If you want to watch the full version of this video, as well as train live with me twice a month to help you build your movement and be around some other amazing people just like you, check out my Movement Makers program. The link to join is right there next to me. Can't wait to see you there. Continue to believe and go join.